I'm excited to be here. Like I'm honored to stand here before you as the head coach at Penn State University, and I'm honored to represent our great university. But I'm also honored to be a head coach in the Big Ten. And as an Indiana kid, like this is my home. Indianapolis is my home, and to be able to stand here in front of you and represent Penn State University is a proud moment for me. I'm excited about our team, right? There's no outside expectations that I really care about except for the expectations that I put on myself and the expectations that we have in our locker room. So just like everybody else that's come up here and everybody else in college basketball, you know, everybody in college basketball is old, right? There's a lot of guys that have come back. There's a lot of players that have played a bunch of games and they're back in college basketball. And I can say with the fact that we're one of the oldest, I believe we're the third oldest team in the country. We have 7 seniors this year, with 4 of those being senior pluses. And then we have 2 juniors outside of that. So to have your top 9 guys be juniors and seniors, like that's something that you can build off of. I was thrilled when I got here to have a guy, like a Miles Dredd, tell me that he's coming back and tell me he's staying. A guy like a Sam Sessoms to tell me that he's staying. And then to get the fortunate opportunity to get John Hare and coach him and have him back and be a part of our team. Get Seth Lundy back and be a part of our team. Like that's thrilling for me as a first-year head coach because I have a building block of guys that have been in the Big Ten. Guys that have played in these arenas and not necessarily empty. They've played in the full arenas and they know what it's like to win in this league. They know what it takes to win in this league. And then we added some talented newcomers. We have some good players in our mix that we have. And, I'm excited about the talent that we have. Jalen Pickett is a really good guard, a transfer from Siena. He's going to be able to help us tremendously. Greg Lee is a transfer from Western Michigan who's also a senior plus, and he's a guy that's going to match the energy that John Hare brings every single night. And when you start putting guys together like that, older guys that have played basketball, you have an opportunity, to play the right way. You have an opportunity to have guys that aren't scared to go into different venues. They've played a lot of college basketball. They also know what winning basketball looks like. So I'll open it up to any questions.
Second row.
Michael, Mike DeCourcy from Sporting News. Coaches who become head coaches after being assistants for a long time, and you were with some great coaches. Talk about the challenge, the shock of moving across like 12 inches on the bench. What's been the most surprising thing to you? Obviously, you haven't played any games yet. But what's been the most surprising thing to you about becoming a head coach and having that responsibility?
Yeah, good question, Mike. Really everything right away. You go with this plan as an assistant coach, and you go to all of these strategy sessions, and you write down what you're going to do as a head coach. This is what 30 days is going to look like. This is what 60 days is going to look like. And I took the job, and there's no manual. I'm flipping through the pages. There's no manual for the transfer portal. There's no manual for COVID, and you're trying to navigate all of that. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to work for some really good coaches, and like Division III coaches, Division II, and obviously Brad Stevens and Matt Painter are 2 of the best. And I've said it before. I called Coach Painter like 5 straight days, and he picked up every single time. Right? To have a guy like that be able to be there for you, to answer questions, to help you along the way, has been tremendous. And like as good of a person as it gets. To be able to have him in your own league answer questions like that. So everything that comes at you at one time is a tough challenge, is a tough transition. But I'm learning each and every day. I'm learning with these guys back here what practice looks like. And I change practice in the middle of practice based on how they feel. So, the best advice Brad and Coach Painter have given me is just be yourself and you'll do great.
In the back row.
Micah, touching off that a little bit, coming over from Purdue and seeing your guys previously as someone who was coaching against them, how have they met or exceeded your expectations now that you're the one coaching them?
It's helped me, like, to be in this league, to see these guys, to prepare for them. It's really helped. And I have a frame of reference to talk to them about, because I've seen them. I've seen their stats. I've studied them. I've tried to game plan against them. So it's helped me. But you do have to get up close and personal to see what it really is. And like having the summer to work with these guys to see what they can do. And now we build off of that here in the fall. And we're trying to get as a cohesive team as possible right now. And we have a lot of new guys from a lot of different areas. So even though we're experienced, everybody's a freshman because they're playing for me for the first time. And how we do things could be completely different. If you've played 5 years of college basketball, I can be teaching you something in a completely different way. But to see how they're learning, to see how they're picking it up, like, I keep, pointing to John because he's there, but like the progress that he's made in the time that I've been there and we've been able to be on the court together, like you're starting to see it. That's growth for me every single day. That gives me encouragement every day that what we're teaching is getting through. And now you take the blueprint of winning basketball, how you win in the Big Ten, like being in the Big Ten, I understand what it takes to win in this league. Now you take that blueprint and you bring it over here to these guys and add. They've played extremely hard, right? Hats off to the coaches that were there before me. They played hard every single night and they gave themselves a chance every single night. Now let's do it with more discipline. Let's do it in a different way. Then let's go out here and let's fight and let's compete every night.
We have time for one more question. Right behind in the back row, Molly.
Hey Mike, it's Steven Sterling, XL Sports, Indiana Sports Network. We've all been in Mackey Arena. We know what that's like. Have you given it any thought yet about walking back into Mackey and seeing Matt Painter on the other side of the can't think of the word I'm looking for, but on the other side of the court?
Yeah, that was one of, you have these small moments as a head coach, like you remember the first time things happened. And I had that small moment when the schedule came out, and it was like, hey, you only got to play Purdue once, and you don't have to go there. I was thrilled. I was actually really thrilled for Grady Eifert, who's on our staff with me, because we have knowledgeable fans. At Purdue, there were knowledgeable fans, and they're going to cheer, and it's as tough as environment as possible. But I was like, Grady, I can't wait for that paint crew to turn on you and just give you everything they got. So I don't have to think about it right now because I got a full year before I do have to go there. But like being on this, being on the same sideline and going against Coach Painter this year, I don't know if it'll be a fun experience. It'll be an experience. I know I better bring my best because I've been with him. I've seen him prepare. I know how hard that team's going to play, and we're going to compete with the same spirit, and we're going to get after people this year, and I'm looking forward to it.